Hello Momentum, this is Gabriel Shaw, and this month what we're going to be focusing on is stabilizing and integrating the hips, the core, and your ankles to help you have more balance and power in your agility ladder drills or your turning or your stepping. The way you're going to use this video is you're going to watch me do all the exercises. Watch me do the exercise and then try it yourself. Watch me do the next exercise, then try it yourself. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do each exercise for 1 minute each, or 1 minute on each side. Some of the exercises are different sides. You're going to do each exercise each time that you go to do your dance training. So that could be 3 to 5 days a week. And what's going to happen then is you're going to be building the strength and stability and balance and integration that you need, that's going to help you, that you're going to feel immediately after in your dancing. The first 3 exercises that we're going to do are a little bit more basic. I want everybody to work through those 3 exercises at first. That's going to build the foundation that you need. Once those 3 exercises start feeling it a little bit easier for you, then I want you to progress to the 3 more difficult versions of each of the exercises that we're going to be doing. That being said, everybody watch the video all the way through so that you can see the exercise that we're going to do at the end, because that's a really fun way to integrate your core with your hips and your ankles, which is going to be really important for your spins, and it's also going to be a lot of fun. Okay, exercise number 1 is going to be hip abduction on the wall. This exercise is very important for building our hip stabilizers, which a lot of dancers don't realize are very important muscles that we need to strengthen for balance, but also hip, knee, or ankle pain. And that's because what a lot of you are going to be doing if you have weak hips is that as you step, instead of this hip muscle working to keep this hip underneath me, it's going to send the hip out to the side. That's going to result in this knee and this ankle falling inside. So this puts a lot of strain on our knee and our ankle. Then it also contributes to a wobbly dance as opposed to a smooth turning dance. So this exercise helps you with keeping those hips underneath you and strengthening our hip muscles that we need for balance and power. So this is the most important exercise, and I want you to do it first. We're going to do it using the wall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand almost right up against the wall, but my shoulder is maybe an inch or 2 away from the wall. The leg that's closest to the wall is going to bend, so the knee and the ankle go against the wall together. You may have remembered this exercise from the dancer stability workshop. I'm going to do it a little bit differently though. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap my hip to the wall and then come back. Tap my hip to the wall, come back. So I'll show you this way. This knee is slightly bent and my hip is just a little bit pitched. So you can play in that position. You don't have to rush through the reps. Make sure you're in that position for 1 minute on each side. That's going to be the most important exercise to start with. Start building some of this balance and power and dealing with hip or knee or ankle discomfort when you're dancing. Exercise number 2 is going to be a sit to stand, but I'm going to make it a little bit more detailed so that you know exactly how to work our hip and our ankle stabilizers, again, to prep for balance and turns and power while you're dancing. The first thing I want you to do is actually do this using a chair or a bench. So as you do this exercise, you're going to notice there's going to be a lot of differences when you go down to come to sit down to a chair than when you do it just straight up in the air. So some of you may notice this, so that's why I want you to not try to keep your back up straight like this, but actually do it where you're using a chair, so that you also get to practice a little bit of this pitch, which is also going to be really important for your balance and your turns and your posture. Of course, many of you already know that. The other thing I want to work on with this sit to stand is our knee and our toe alignments. I've adjusted the camera angle a little bit so that you can see my toes going straight forward and my knees driving right over my toe. So as I come up and do this exercise, the first thing I want you to do is really focus on your knees going right over the middle toe. To make that a little bit harder, I want you to think about rotating your knees out. It's okay to go a little bit more out than you think they need to be. You should feel those same hip muscles we just worked on the wall start to engage when you do that. You're gonna feel, you can see already in my feet, they wanna start turning out like this, or they're gonna wanna start to lift up like this. So I want you to try to keep your big toe mound pressing into the ground. So I'm going to turn my foot in, press my big toe mound into the ground. You can see that makes me want to bring my knees in. So I fight my knees going out against that big toe mound pushing down to the ground. I'm pushing my big toe mound to the ground, trying to keep my big toe straight forward and driving my knees out. I'm going to feel a wraparound effect here of my ankle muscles working and my hip muscles working. I'm going to try to keep that good alignment, knees pressed out, big toe mound pressing down, that whole time as I go up and down, and you can do nice and slow exactly like I'm working, and that's going to make it a lot harder, and you're going to feel that this is going to be really good for your ankles and also your hips. I'll show you that again facing this way. Big toe mounds press down to the ground, knees press out. I'm not letting my feet slide on the floor or the inside of my foot come up, but I'm pressing the inside of my foot down, pressing my knee out, and then going all the way down and coming up. If you want to make it a little bit harder still, you worry about keeping your torso parallel to your shins. So my big toe mound is pressing down, I'm pressing my knees out, and I'm going nice and slow so that I can work at keeping that alignment the whole time. And I'm feeling a lot already just having done a couple in my hips and the front of my shins. Exercise number 3 is going to be a calf raise and lower, incorporating the same principles we just built this alignment into our calf raise and lower. So I'm going to show you this on this box. Watch how I'm trying to keep my foot level with the ground, trying to keep my feet from going inside and outside like this. So I'm going to demo that right here. Ball of your foot's going to go on the ledge, dropping your heels down to a stretch nice and slow, and then raising them all the way back up. Toes point straight ahead, knees going right over the middle toes. Big toe mound presses down, knees bend slightly and press out. I'm going to keep my heels level with the ground, come all the way down, get a little bit of a stretch, come all the way back up, trying to keep those heels level, trying to keep those knees pressed out over the middle toes. Nice and slow, just like this. Okay, so I've just brought this camera angle down a little bit lower and rolled up my pants so that you can see my ankle angle to see what we're working on. When I bend my knees and press my knees out, you can see it's going to make the inside of my foot come up. So I'm working to press that inside of my foot down. That's making my heels level, and then trying to keep my knees pressed out. You should see my heels are more or less level with the ground, and then I'm going to go all the way down, get a little bit of a stretch, come all the way back up, trying to keep my heels from doing this as you move, which was a lot of you want to do, and at the same time keeping those knees over those middle toes. Use your camera or use your phone so that you can watch yourself, or get a buddy so you can watch yourself do it. Okay, so you have those first 3 exercises, which is the hip abduction on the wall, the sit to stand with the alignment, and the calf raise and lower with good alignment. Now what we're going to do is, once those first 3 start to become a little bit easier, we're going to add these next difficulty levels onto them. The next way we're going to increase the difficulty is, first of all, to add a turnout. So I want you to do that same thing on your sit stand and on your calf lower. Try to add a turnout, but make sure you can get that good alignment, big toe mound pressing down, knees going over your middle toe before you add your turnout. I'm going to take a nice wide stance, and I'm going to go 45 degrees or so with my feet as I go down in my sit to stand, and you can feel free to use a bench to do this as well. Knees go out, big toe mound goes down. You might also get a little bit of a stretch of your inner thigh, and that's what we're going for in this one. Instead of doing my calf raise and lower directly straight forward with my feet, I'm going to turn my feet a little bit out, and then I try to do that calf raise and lower in that good alignment, heel still parallel with the floor. This next exercise we're going to do is starting to train our inner thigh muscles in a split stance, so a normal stance like you would be for walking, training our inner thigh muscles without losing all that alignment that we just worked on. So when you come into a split stance, it's almost as if you're going to do a lunge, but think a little bit more like you're walking. So bring that foot just a little bit closer. These thighs are a little bit closer to parallel. Both toes are going to be facing forward for now. Eventually you want to try this to the turnout, you can, but it's going to be a lot harder for the alignment. So for now, just go toes facing towards the front. Active, ball of the foot on the back, heel is straight up towards the air. Most of my weight is on the front foot. I'm very slightly pitched forwards, exactly like you would be for dancing. Then what I want you to do is look at your alignment. A lot of you are going to be dropping in with the foot and with the knee, or trying to turn out like this. Try to do that same heel alignment we just worked, that same knee going over your middle toe. Shift your weight on the front foot. And then what I want you to do is I want you to squeeze the floor together between your feet and then relax. Squeeze the floor together between your feet and relax. You should notice these inner thighs working to squeeze the floor, but what you're not doing is you're not letting your knees come together. And that's how we're going to use this hip stabilizers and ankle stabilizers again. So it's almost like you're trying to slide your feet towards each other, but the feet don't move, the knees don't move, the hips don't move. Just pinching the floor. You can feel yourself gripping. This is almost like you're going to grip the floor like a prep for a turn, really engaging through those inner thighs. You can hold it as long as you like, or hold, relax. But try to do it for 1 minute. And then you're going to do the other side. Come to your split stance. Should be a nice comfortable stance. Nice dancer pitch. Squeeze the floor. Try to slide the feet together, but the feet and the knees don't move. Practicing, engaging, but in neutral alignment. I'm working really hard on my inner thighs here. Slightly pitched. And relax, squeeze, relax. Again, you can hear my voice, how hard I'm working to really try to slide the feet together. The important part is that we're not losing all this alignment we just worked in the others when we're doing this exercise. And now we're going to get to the final exercise, which is a core activation exercise from the Franklin method. And what it's going to do is get us having a lot of fun moving our spine, but teaching our core how to work to stabilize our spine in a variety of positions. So the first thing you need to do is you need to learn how to feel this core wrapping all the way around. And you also want to feel this expansion to your core as well. So I'm feeling a soft parts of my sides, slight bending my knees. I'm breathing in, expanding all the way around. Breathing out. As I breathe out, I'm drawing all the energy, all of my core toward my midsection, almost like a corset. Or like I was going to try to use my core to get a little bit taller. You go to cough, you're going to feel that. Again, not only in the front, but all the way around. You're going to breathe in. I'm expanding here. I'm not shrugging. I'm just expanding my whole chest. And then breathing out. Feel these muscles all the way around your core engaged. Now I want you to keep that same breathing. You can even go with your hands to feel. Keep that same breathing the whole time. Keep your knees slightly bent. Then turn your spine in a variety of different directions as you do that. And just trying to do that for 1 minute. The quicker you move and the more you keep this activation, the breathing, the more work you're going to get. Moving your spine in a variety of directions is really good for our spine health, but definitely in dancing, we want to focus on that turning, because that's going to be similar to like we would do as a prep, and then we're engaging that core to do a turn, or also just for our contra body rotation. If you want to make that exercise a little bit harder and a little bit more fun, then what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to do that same thing standing on one foot. And what you might also do is bring this other foot back, so just the toe is on the ground a little bit. Bend the knee. Use your hip to make sure this knee stays right in alignment over your middle toe the whole time. So you should feel that stability on the ground, almost like you're gripping into the ground or corkscrewing into the ground like we have learned in our swing literacy. And then get that same breathing. And then start to, again, twist or move the core in a variety of directions, keeping that breathing. You can see how I'm tapping, releasing this foot. And of course, you can try both sides. Okay, so for that exercise, either 1 minute on both feet or 1 minute on each foot. Each one of these exercises, 1 minute or 1 minute on each side before your normal dancing training, which should be about 3 to 5 days a week. Do those exercises and then go into your dance practice, because you're going to feel immediately how those muscles are working and help you integrate during your dancing. If you have any questions about this video, a great way to do that would be to tag me or tag conditioning in the Facebook group and just type it right on there. Even better is if you film yourself doing the exercise and then post so I can give feedback, and a lot of other people can benefit from that as well. Okay? If you have any other questions or looking for more conditioning drills or ways to improve your dancing and improve your mobility and stability for the rest of your life, definitely check out the free library of videos we have over at movespace.com/library. And until I see you next time, stay healthy, stay connected. Thanks.